Our boy Caliban just got a rework. Let's talk about it. Starting with a passive, it stays the same. It's pretty much a nerfed version of the adaptation mod. Instead of giving you 90% of damage reduction to a damage type, it's going to give you 50%. All of Caliban's abilities can apply a new status effect called the Tau effect, which increases enemy status vulnerability, just like the Dante's paragrams work. Razorgyre, which used to be a piece of crap, you will just be spinning and applying little to no slash, and you would have to aim to then just dash towards the enemy. Now is a unaffected 30 meters dash in front of you. It has a good amount of radius that when you hit enemies, you have a 25% chance of applying the Tau effect, and also you're gonna have refund on your energy per enemy hit, and it's gonna heal you based on what you currently have. If you're missing health, you'll be healed. If your health is full, you're gonna get shields. If your shield is full, you're getting over shields, and that's pretty freaking good. Sentient Wrath, instead of ragdolling enemies, now suspends them into the air just like Aegis Storm does, applies the Tau effect and the damage due vulnerability, and that's how it goes. Now, Little Progeny, we have 3 different types of sentience. We have the Conculus, which are pretty much the melee spankers, which are just gonna beat the crap out of the enemies, and also recast your Fusion Strike, allowing to armor strip a great area and deal some damage. For the Arthuss, if you want to spread that Tau effect, he's there for you. He's the ranged sentient who's going to be applying lots of the Tau effect on enemies. Pretty much everyone is getting Tau effect. And we have the Sumulus, which is a sentient that opens a portal and pulls out 6 other Coralists that have increased aggro, and so you're also, because of the number, you're having a better shield regen, and that's it. They're gonna pull the aggro and help you stay alive. As for Fusion Strike, not only now it also continues to armor strip, still has the area, but it hits more times as it goes, and it's pretty much that. So let's talk about the changes. How is Caliban now? What Caliban needed? I made a video back in the day calling what needed to be changed in the frame. They needed to revamp the first ability, which they did, and now that's pretty freaking good. It's really freaking good. His first ability is now the band-aid for his whole kit, what his kit was missing, which is some form of getting shields back when he was on the shield gate mode, because Little Progeny cannot regen shields if your shield gate is triggered. So you can't pretty much just stay alive all the time. I suggested that it would be something that they would do and make like this frame unbelievable. Would put him probably on par with Revenant. Not only because of toxin damage, but still. The fix to that is Razorgyre, which is pretty good. So another detail on Razorgyre is you can actually get not only refund your energy, but get much more energy back. Another thing is you can cancel your Razorgyre by jumping, and then you can just get a lot of energy back as long as you have enough enemies around. That is also pretty good. But with those changes, one thing is, now I'm gonna get into some, before getting to personal stuff, I have to say that Fusion Strike is bugged, because the Fusion Strike damage based on damage per second is actually the whole cast of Fusion Strike. That 30k is gonna be dealt in that second, that conversion time, okay? Without anything affecting your casting speed, you're gonna be dealing that entire damage. It's gonna be 10 hits, and the 11th is gonna be the explosion. So 10 hits. If you're using casting speed, you're hitting less times, so you're dealing less damage with Fusion Strike. I don't think they accounted that. So that is a big F. Also, the enemy detonation, I think that's when you kill an enemy, because I haven't seen that damage in the Simulacrum a lot. I tried pulling out some butchers, and maybe that's what's going on. And that convergence explosion damage is just a joke. Okay, now I'm gonna get personal into what I think about this. I like the changes. They're good. They're pretty good for everyone. But as someone who wanted to do specific things with Caliban, I'm frustrated because, one, I can't use my Sentients and just make like a minion build and have them to be the protagonists of the build and just deal the damage, kill the dudes. You kind of can, but it's too tricky, too clunky, worky to get it running. And I also wanted to kill stuff with Fusion Strike. I have a build specialized for that with Roar and everything like that, but that wasn't as viable before, and now it feels like it's even worse. So that is a big F. But let's talk about builds. This is base. I have 2 shards for casting speed. This is a build that will probably work just fine. Brief Respite, Arcane Aegis. This thing will just keep me alive really well. The build for Fusion Strike is this. Unfortunately, it's not the best thing in the world. But, yeah. Theory of Infection I'm gonna explain later. I've tried everything I could to buff the Sentients. Tried Everlasting Ward with Elemental Ward. Tried Thermal Sun, and none of those affect them. The best builds I could make to buff my Sentients were actually with Breed Surge and with Nourish, because even before the change, Nourish would already affect Sentients, would increase their aggro, and also make so them apply a viral on their attacks. And this works pretty freaking well. This is an old build that I got together for level caps, but never really put it to the test. And under details that maybe now Razorgyre is not the best ability to subsum off. So what does this build do? It's pretty freaking interesting. People used Nourish with Caliban, I think forever, and now it's much more powerful. You'll have your Sentients applying viral and the Tau effect. Like if you're building with the Arthuss, that is just really freaking good. Back in the day that we had, I think, Battleists and Conculus. And Conculus would already deal pretty significant increased damage. But now it's just better. But really, the Arthuss kind of shine like this. But remember when I said that you can kind of make stuff work if you want, like, get them to kill? Yeah, let me make it a bit better. I wasn't using this before. Let me get the Cedo, and now we'll get stuff going, and you'll understand in a bit. What we're gonna do now is to use, I have shown you guys this in the past, but is actually to use the how's it even called? The Residuals and Theorem sets, which buffs our allies. I've shown this with a bunch of stuff, with Rumblers, shown with these Sentients back in the day. And these will add damage type to our Sentinels, and also, because of the Theorem, increase their damage by a lot. So that's what we're gonna do. I was testing this build before, but it doesn't seem as good. Just need to get an area. Using Residual Boils, we're gonna be applying heat, extra heat to our Sentients. Arthuss, it's still around. You'll see that it'll now be dealing heat damage. So, summon everyone again. Let me try to get them close. Bam. Now, Fusion Strike. Look at the heat. We added heat to them because of the residual arcane. And now they're just going. And they'll keep that heat as long as they're alive. When they reset, they die, or I summon them again, they're gonna lose it. But all I would need to do is to get them get another proc of the arcane, stand on the zone, and they'll be buffed again. That's how it goes. That's the only issue, really. It's a bit worky to get it going. You'll need to keep healing with a kit gun and just standing in the zone to get the buff. It is a bit inconsistent. There's also an internal cooldown which isn't shown anywhere, which after a couple activations it should be around a minute or something. At least I haven't found anywhere last time I checked. But yeah, that is what I made with Caliban. Old builds. This one, Nourish. Yep. How is Caliban now? He is a heck ton better than before. He's really... He was already great, but he wasn't the most accessible frame because you would have to make some very specific stuff to stay alive with him. You would have to force the shield gate. You would like force hard the shield gate and then just also count with Aegis proccing. But now it is a lot more easy and manageable to everyone else. And also people are getting their freely ban as soon as they log in, so everyone can enjoy the reworked frame. And this skin, holy freaking Jesus, this looks amazing. So freaking good. Yeah, that's it. Caliban was already great. Now he's much better, more viable. Only the builds that I wanted to make, they're not really what I wanted, but patience. You know, we can't have everything we want. But great change to the frame, great buff, great change they made. That's it. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace.
Till next time, friend.